Hey, I haven't even been back a week and I've already hit like multiple garage sales, multiple thrift stores, and even a private sale. So I already have stuff that I want to show you. So come along because we're going to do a great haul at the end. After like 2 days of traveling by train and tram and plane. Anyways, I'm back. I hit the ground running. A couple of thrift stores and went and I fluffed my booths. I took some of the French items to the booths and the rest are pretty much being listed online. Probably my least favorite part of being a vintage reseller is listing stuff online, mainly because it taxes my brain to do constant research on items. I feel like I go down the Google research rabbit hole fairly often. But selling online, I think, can be very profitable. Just in order for it to be profitable, you can't just dabble. You have to be committed to listing a certain amount of items per day, almost every day. And right now, I'm committed to listing 6 a day on the days that Amanda doesn't list. So 4 days out of the week, I'm listing a minimum of 6 items. But really, my goal should be listing 10 items. So anyways, just a bunch of rambling. So good. I walked out with so much stuff. And what was really interesting about my visit to the Goodwill is I actually chatted up another reseller. So that was really interesting. You can always spot a reseller because they usually have a cart full of stuff, right? And it's usually a lot of random stuff. Although mine had a theme, mine had a pottery theme. So we had a really nice conversation in the parking lot. So if you're watching this, Doug, it was great to meet you and good luck on your ventures. It's always fun talking reselling. Right before I left, I sold a set of 3 Siska style chairs for $300 and I needed to deliver them. So that was my first stop of the day. So I dropped those chairs off to that cute little buyer of them in Seattle, and she did pay me to deliver them, which was nice. Covers my expensive gas. Now I'm at Epic Antiques, and I'm going to deliver this recent haul and just do a little fluffing and hopefully see what I've sold. So I'm up early, it's Friday morning, and I'm heading off to an estate sale. This week was really good for furniture at the store. I think we sold 2 chairs, a little rolling cabinet, and I had 2 orange couches delivered to my place while I was in France, and they put them in my van, and it was 2 orange velvet couches, and I brought one in on Monday, and it sold like within a day. And then I was gonna bring the second one in today, and somebody was in the store yesterday and they bought it sight unseen. So that is a really good week as far as sales goes. Oh wow, so apparently they already started. There's people bringing Well, that was really super expensive. They had some really cool things, but everything was priced. So a lot of stuff was priced higher than what I would price them online or even in my shop or my booth. But I had to get these. They are so cool. This beautiful mountain lion in this crouching position. I did pay $45 for these. I'm gonna take these to my boho booth in Seattle, where, you know, the market's pretty large there. So, and I'll probably price them at, I'd say at least $125. So we'll see how they do. And then I've actually bought this identical Roadrunner in the past, and I paid $6 for him, so that wasn't too bad on that. Probably what I would pay in a thrift store. And then I got this beautiful, like, little runner, or you could put it on the floor, but this beautiful velvet runner. And a little bamboo stand. I'll get a picture and I'll put it up above. So besides the bookends that were $45, everything else, oh, I forgot. Oh, darn it. It's in the back, but I got a paint by numbers. I'll put a picture up there as well. And so the paint by numbers, that little runner velvet rug, and the Roadrunner all together. Oh, and the little bamboo plant stand was $12. So that was really good. Hey, so if you guys are new here, my name is Abigail and I am a vintage reseller. I have a store in Poulsbo, Washington. I have 2 antique booths in Seattle, and I sell on all the major platforms. I also have an Instagram account that I post on every single day. So if you don't follow me there, make sure you do, because I always post things before they even show up on the videos. If you're ever interested in any of the items, down below in the description, there's a link to a Linktree, which has a contact form. Just send me your information and I'll get right back to you. So I caught up with a couple of my favorite YouTubers, and I always learn so much from Laura Caldwell from Left Coast Revivals. If you're into mid-century modern, make sure you go and check out her channel. And I had just watched it, and she had picked up this, I think it was a Hager planter, which when she picked it up, I'm like, I would have walked right past that. I never even would have given it a second thought. And so today when I was in the Goodwill, I saw this matte pot and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take a look because of what I've learned from Laura's channel. And I did, and I was rewarded with this beautiful matte planter. And this is by a company called Halen. And I paid $5 for it, but I'm like, this is so awesome. Oh my gosh, and that's funny because I thought I had paid $4.99 and then I see it's got a $12.99 sticker on it. But regardless, it's a good piece. And I'm so thankful that I always learn something new from YouTubers that I watch. So thank you so much, Laura. From now on, I'm not going to pass up on pottery just because it's not particularly my style. But anyways, I love this. It is actually really pretty in a very simple, classic, minimalist design. The other thing that I picked up at that Goodwill are these bookends. So these are brass bookends. Whenever I see these, I snatch them right up because they always sell. Maybe not immediately, but eventually somebody will pick them up. These are super heavy and they were a good price at $5.99. I found one wood box there with this pagoda on it. I did pay up for this, so I paid $6 for that, but I will price this at probably $18, $19, and it will go to my boho booth. So as I mentioned, I was on the hunt for pottery, stoneware in particular, and I got this little jug. I don't know what you would put in it, but I thought it was really cool. I'm sure it was hand thrown by somebody. I paid $4.99 for it, and it's also going to my boho booth. I got these two, also hand thrown. They're both signed. And, you know, I was a little hesitant to pay $8 a piece. That's what stoneware in my local Goodwills is going for, if not more. And it used to be like, I'm gonna say like 30% less than that. But these are nice big pieces, and I will probably put more like $29, $30 on them. And so I really like them. So I did say yes. I also said yes to this little vase and this bowl, and in particular, I really like the design on this one. And this is also one that is signed on the bottom. I was very attracted to this little set for sake. So you have your two little sake bottles and your little sake glasses. It was originally $9.99, but it was a red tag day, so I got these for $5. Again, these are going to go to the boho booth, and hopefully it'll do well because I do see sake sets often and I never pick them up. So if it does well, maybe I'll be on the hunt for more. I got this really awesome ashtray from probably the 60s with that spatterware design on it. I really love it because it's got this matte yellow finish and the shape is really different. So it's kind of got like an atomic look to it, a Jetson style look, and this one was actually a really good deal at $3.99. So I really love this next piece. It's just this beautiful canister with a lid, and it's got this really pretty like carving, or yes, like carving on the sides. And what's interesting is it was actually a Pier 1 item, but it is so pretty. I could not leave it behind. I paid $6, but I think it's going to make a great addition to my booth. So even though I mostly got clothes at my favorite little thrift store in Gig Harbor, I also found these wonderful giraffes from Kenya. They are so cool. They're napkin holders. And I'm almost tempted to sell them individually, but I think I'm gonna keep them all together. But aren't they, there we go. Aren't these just fabulous? On Saturday, my friend Holly and I headed up to Seattle to fluff my booths and kind of see what the state of affairs was there. And we decided to hit a couple of garage sales while we were there. I found these beautiful steak knives with these, it almost looks like Bakelite handles, but they are absolutely gorgeous. I'm actually in need of steak knives. I may wind up keeping these because these are so pretty. And these are made in Germany. So these come all the way from Germany, very well made. If you ever decide to get really beautiful steak knives, one thing my sister told me that I took to heart is never put them in the dishwasher. It's really bad for them. You should always wash your pots and your good knives by hand. At one of the Seattle garage sales, I got this great sunflower painting. It's very amateurish, but I don't care. I think it's really cool. And it's just bright and summery. And honestly, whenever I bought anything that's got sunflowers on it, it always sells because it's very reminiscent of the 70s. I don't think this one is quite that old. I mean, it may be because it does have staining on the canvas and the wood looks oxidized. So it could be from the 70s, but 70s, 80s is what I would say. I love a good paint by numbers. I picked up two at a different garage sale in Seattle. This one is great. It's not framed. I wish it was. For some reason, I feel like paint by numbers do better if they're framed, but it's a landscape and landscapes do really well. I've never had a paint by number landscape. They're usually like animals or nautical. Nautical ones do extremely well, but I was happy to find it. We'll see how it goes. And this one has really more of a bucolic country scene, also really pretty. I'm not sure how it will do either, and I may put those online because that's where I've had the most luck with paint by numbers. At that one Seattle garage sale, I also grabbed this wonderful camp blanket with these great bright colors on this kind of olive background. Like, these are very vibrant colors. They almost look very modern, right? Look at that. I mean, that is like super bright. But let me show you the tag. The tag is very old, right? So we're probably looking at like 1940s, 1950s. And it says Oregon City, Genuine Jacobs, Oregon City Woolen Mills. So it was a competitor to Pendleton, obviously, because Pendleton's out of Oregon. But it's just super bright. I did pay up for that. I paid $40, but I will put maybe $125, and I don't see where I'm not going to get that. I'm sure I will, because the design and the colors are fabulous on it. I also got these two trays. I love green. I'm really digging green lately. And these are just beautiful because you could use them to serve items in. You can use them on a dresser or a console table. They have so many uses. Again, well, this one was $5.99 and this one was $7.99. I got this little tray, and this is probably made in Japan because it's got this little section which is probably for wasabi. It's a beautiful piece. The texture is really nice on it. And it was only $1.99, but it was also a red tag, so I only paid. So when I first saw this, I thought it was a rat, but it was actually an armadillo. Is he not the coolest brass armadillo? On this one, I'm not sure if I'll take it to the booth or if I'll put them directly online. I may take them to the booth just because, again, I felt like even though none of the furniture sold, which I was a little disappointed about. Not even the small pieces of furniture sold, but we had sold so many small items that it really needs to be replenished. And I think he would be just a really good addition. The other item I found there was this little tray, and it really reminds me of France. Kind of, I don't know, like a Monet maybe? Wait. And that could actually be a painting by Monet, but it's just this little tray. I paid $2. It's just so cute. It would be so pretty, just like on a table as part of a display. So really like that. Also at that garage sale, I got this beautiful brass box. Can almost guarantee it was made in India. It's probably not very old, maybe from like the 70s, maybe the 80s, but it is so cool, and that is also going straight to my boho. I got this more contemporary piece. It's this beautiful, also white, minimalist pot, but the reason I like it is it says it's made in Holland. So it is very pretty, and I only paid $3.99 for it. So I think it's gonna look really good styled together with the bigger white pot. Hey, so I'm so glad you joined me on this week's adventure. And if you get a chance to get out and do some thrifting, I hope the thrifting gods are with you and you find some fabulous stuff. And otherwise, I will see you next week.